Okay, this is lesson 35 in Saxon's Algebra 1, 3rd edition. This lesson covers two different topics. One is factoring the greatest common factor, and the other is canceling. Now, yesterday we talked about finding the greatest common factor, but today we're going to take that one step further, as we so often do, and we're going to factor an expression, factoring out the greatest common factor first. Canceling, I hope you know and are familiar with that, how you can cross-cancel things out, and we're going to take that one step further also into canceling out in algebraic expressions. I found this little chart here online about factoring using the greatest common factor, and I just am going to take a little while. I'm not going to read it for you because I think you can do that, but it does have some very good information, just like this, where it says factoring is like pressing the rewind button on an algebra problem. You start out with an expression and then you work backward so that you end up with a multiplication problem, and then it gives you, here's some examples. This is just factoring. This would be how to factor out a common factor, the greatest common factor. How can I determine what is the greatest common factor of the numbers in an expression? Okay, and down here it takes you step by step. Here you can see that this is the same equation here that we started with here. We found that the greatest common factor of these four terms is 3, and when you divide each one of those by 3, what you get. So you're kind of undoing the multiplication, like it says, or the division. And so then this would be your final answer if you're factoring out the the expression. Alright, and then down here it gives you just some little bullet point explanations. These two go with this frame, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps here to go with these frames. So I do want you to take a little bit and just read over this. You don't have to copy it, but it's really important that you read it, okay? Or I wouldn't have put it on here. Alright, and then we'll go to the next page. You remember that you can stop the recording and just look at it, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Now I'm going to go on to the next page. Alright, this says factor the greatest common factor, or GCF, of 2ax plus 2ac. Well, the only thing that these two have in common, they both have a 2 and they both have an a. So those would be the greatest common factor. The one step further from yesterday is what's left over. Here I've got an x, and here I've got a c, and I've got the plus sign. So 2a and then x plus c. If I multiply this, 2a times x is 2a times c equals 2ac, and I'm right back where I was before I factored. So this would be the answer of a problem like this. Alright, go to the next page. This says factor the greatest common factor of, and then it gives you 3 expressions. We're going to look here and say that a to the third, a squared, a to the fourth, we're going to have to take out a squared. It's the smallest. x squared, x, and x cubed. We're going to take out the smallest, which is x. And then m squared, m cubed, m squared, we're going to use n squared. Then we're going to say, if this is the greatest common factor here, this times what would get me this original phrase or expression? Alright, so if I multiply a squared times another a, I would have a cubed, and x times x would give me x squared, and I've already got an m squared, so this would be it for the first term. For the second term, I've got an a squared, I've got an x, I've got 2 of the 3 m's I need, so I need one more m. And then for this last term here, I've got 2 a's, but I need 4, so I'm going to have to put a squared to multiply by this a squared to get this a4. And x, I've got 1, but I need 3, so I'm going to need 2 more. And then m squared, I already have that, so I don't need any more. If I were to multiply this times this times this, and this times this, I should be able to get this, and that's how you can check your work on this kind of problem. Alright, let's go to the next page and talk about canceling. Okay, so I've done a couple of problems here. You know that if you have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, you can cross cancel that out because it actually really equals 1. And all we're left with would be the a minus 3. Alright, let's look at this one. 3p plus 3. Well, that 3 and that 3 and that 3 and that 3 are going to cancel out. So that would leave me here 1p, or p, and plus 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay. Over here, 3x minus 9x squared divided by 3x. This divided by this is 1. And this divided by this. 3 will go into 9 3 times, and x will go into x squared 1 more time. Okay, and that's how you cancel that out. Alright, let's go work your practice problems. Okay, factoring the greatest common factor of 15 and 35. The greatest number that will go into both is going to be 5. And then remember, I want the smaller. I've got 1a here and 2 here, so I'm going to use 1 and z to the 5th and z to the 8th. I'm going to use the z to the 5th. Then I'm going to say this term times what gets me this term. 5 times 3 is 15. If I've got a, I'm going to need one more a. If I've got z to the 5th and I need z to the 8th, I'm going to need 3 more z's there. Alright, and I'm going to do the same thing. This times what gets me this. Well, 5 times 7 gets me 35. I've got a, and I've got z to the 5th. So this would be my answer. Alright, let's do another one. Obviously 2, 2, and 2, it's going to be 2. A squared is the smallest. B squared is the smallest. Times, okay, this times what gets me this? Well, I only need one more a. You could look at it this way. What do I have here that I'm missing here? Fill in the blank with that. I've got a 2. I've got 1a, but I need 3, so I need 2 more. And then I've got the b squared. Okay, and then final term, I've got the 2. I've got 1a, I need 3, so I'm going to need 2 more. And b squared, I'm going to need 4 more to make b to the 6th. and this would be the final answer in this kind of problem. Alright, go to the next page and we'll do some canceling. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1x. So 1 minus x. And here, 7x divided by 7x is 1 minus 7x into 49x squared will go 7x times. Okay. I enjoy doing this factoring. I hope that you'll learn to like it. And happy factoring. I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 36.